Hi guys, welcome to the Lord's Delight. Today's episode is about obedience to Christ. I want to talk about Saul and Samuel, and this incident occurs in 1 Samuel chapter 15, where Samuel has already told Saul to go wipe out the Amalekites. Let's say in verse 12 it says, "Early in the morning Samuel got up and went to meet Saul. But he was told, Saul has gone to Carmel, that he has set up a monument in his own honor and has turned and gone on down to Gilgal." Samuel is tracking Saul down, and when reached him, Saul says, "The Lord bless you, I have carried out the Lord's instructions." But then he didn't. He kept the choice of the cattle and the king alive, which was against God's instructions. So what exactly is Saul claiming here? He says he is obeyed, but then Samuel says, what then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is this lowing of cattle I hear? Nonchalantly Saul answers, "The soldiers brought them from Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and the cattle to sacrifice to the Lord your God, but we totally destroyed the rest." Look at it. I'm just like flabbergasted. Saul says that he obeyed the Lord's instructions and then looks at Samuel and says, "It's your God." I can already see that Saul has gone to a different place in his mind. He is actually justifying what disobedience is. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense in a human way, because it is saving of resources and it's actually for God. He's saying this cattle have been brought back. But I just think that God places more value for us to obey his words than us trying to do something good for God and trying to justify why we didn't obey. Samuel immediately says to Saul, "Stop. Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night." And then he says, when you were small in your own eyes, God made him king over Israel. And then he sent Saul on a mission to wipe out the Amalekites. He says disobeying God was doing evil in the eyes of the Lord. Verse 20 is even more startling, because Saul, when confronted, he did not give in or feel remorse at all. He goes on to say, "But I did obey the Lord. I went on the mission, I completely destroyed the Amalekites, brought back Agag, and the soldiers took the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God, in order to sacrifice them to the Lord your God again." And here is where the important thing comes in. Samuel says, Lord actually delights in the obedience more than sacrifices. The verse literally says to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. The rest of the chapter, Saul tries to save face by bringing Samuel along with him to this event. But Samuel actually says, "God has rejected you, Saul." Saul had become so self-reliant and thinking, yes, sometimes what God says is very counterintuitive and countercultural sometimes, but he has his reasons. Why this importance and stress on obedience now? Recently, God has been talking to me quite a while about obedience, and especially about when you hear my voice, heed and immediately obey. I have been thinking, what Lord I am yet to hear. I don't know if it is you. What am I missing? Let's say I'm not a person who gets things immediately. God has to use multiple sources to talk to me. His people, his word, that is the Bible, circumstances, messages that people send me, like a multiple of things have to repeatedly talk about something. Then I'll be like, oh, God is trying to tell me something. For about 2 weeks, everywhere I turn, whether I walk in the road or if reading online at the paper or my phone, or if I do my quiet time, any time I open literally the Bible, I would be seeing, when you hear the word of the Lord, do not harden your heart, obey immediately. The gist was this, and I could not for the life of me figure out what am I not obeying. I was like, what is this, Lord? What is this, Lord? And this is going on one side. On the other hand, you guys also might notice that the episode is being released on a different timing. That is because I have moved country, so now it is in the timeline of the country I am in. I have moved for my studies, so I'm doing a master's degree, and so there comes a whole lot of workload that comes with it, and I have not been studying for a while now, right? Almost a decade, and there is too much stuff to do, and I'm trying to do it all on my own strength. What I didn't realize was I didn't put these two together. I never realized that I can't do this on my own I needed the help of God. I was striving by self. And God was saying, it is okay, let go, give it to me, surrender to me. Obey, saying, it's not something I can do on my own, Lord. Even though He has been trying to tell me that, me like the cattle that will keep pulling the cart, I was trying to do this on my own, and heeding Him, hearing His voice and obeying is actually surrendering to Him and saying, Lord, this is not possible on my own strength or my own knowledge. Please help. That part went out the window. I was trying everything on my own. Time management and all these new subjects that I am suddenly studying, and trying to manage people and multiple things at a time. Being a student employee, so I also have to working with the teammates, and have a new roommate, adjusting to that life, and trying to do the chores of the world, which is cooking, cleaning, and all the other normal things, paying bills and getting ready for fall and winter. And so all this is weighing on me because I'm trying to do on my own. I'm not heeding my Lord's voice that, come to me, I'll give you rest, you just obey, I will give you the strength. And that somehow just went over my head. I didn't get the point until somebody had to literally point out to me. A friend of mine told on a phone call, do you realize what God is trying to tell you? And then I had to go back to God and verify. So a lot of times the point we miss is, we want to please God by doing things, but what we don't understand is He just wants obedience more than us bringing Him sacrifices, trying to do the best on our own, or excel and glorify the Lord. A lot more than that, He wants our obedience. He'll take care of the rest. It's not on our own self that we are going to do it. So today I have a challenge for you. Look at areas in your life where God has been prodding and you have not obeyed. You know what? Go ask Lord, I don't have the strength to obey. And He will turn it around so beautifully for you. And once that obedience occurs from heart of hearts, the burden we carry lightens so much. I understood that I don't have to be the perfectionist that I was trying to be in all areas of my life, because it is my God who will take care of me. It is not me. I don't have to carry the load. So I hope this assures at least one of you out there that whatever load we are carrying, it becomes heavy when we are doing it on our own and we don't realize we are doing it on our own. Just go to God and give all those loads and take up His cross, which is very light. Okay then, I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.